What's up, everybody? We are back with the budget Miata build. As you can see, it looks slightly different from last time. That's because I did a little upgrade, but I also want to give an insight of the condition of the engine.
Hyper Speed Media.
So the first thing you're going to notice is that the wheels is completely different. Now we got an aftermarket wheel, thanks to Chris. And here's a close-up look of the wheels. Is Koenig wheel, and also has a KYB adjustable damper on there now. It's slightly lower with lowering springs. And coming to the side right here, we got smoke LED side markers and another smoke with LED bulbs blinkers. And also we got an upgraded headlight by Mick Tuning. This is the J1 Phosphorus by Mick Tuning. Really cool, it's RGB. I did a whole video on this. I suggest you check it out. And coming to the top, we also have a new dash cam. Since it's a budget build, I found the cheapest one on AliExpress, which was 20 bucks. They claimed that it was a 4K dash cam, but when I actually look at the file, it's actually a 1080p dash cam. It works well, but it's not 4K. They just lied about the whole process. So that's the thing about being a budget build. Next thing you'll notice is that we got new door cards. So, well, new meaning used. Found these at the marketplace. Used for about 75 bucks, and I resprayed it black, and it looks great. Coming to the center, we also have a new shifter, which is another budget build, so it's AliExpress special. I think it was like 10 bucks. And my favorite one of all is that the radio. This is a cool radio. It's a wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Audio. It's only about 30 to 40 bucks. But it works perfectly for like syncing up your phone, your maps and everything. It's 7-inch display, really cool. 40 bucks, I do recommend this, and it works really well. It also comes with this remote control to control the radio wirelessly. And coming to the back, it's completely stock. I do plan to change the tail light to a smoke tail light to kind of match everything. And now let's address the main issue here. The main issue here is the engine itself. As you remember, a few months ago, I did a whole seal on this engine and whole timing kit and water pump kit using the cheapest component I could find on the internet. And it's working well, nothing leak at all, but there's an issue with the timing belt. I'm gonna show you that right now. As you can see, it's quite clean and it runs great. There's no leak anywhere, even though it's the cheapest seal that I could find on the internet. No issue with that at all, but there's an issue with the timing belt itself. I tried adjusting the tensioner and everything, and I could not fix the problem. So it is actually the timing belt. That was the cheapest timing belt that I could find, and it will cause this issue where I'm gonna explain right here. If you look at the timing belt itself, there's some shear mark right here. That's mainly because the timing belt is flopping to the top of this valve cover and is grinding onto this lip of the valve cover, in which I cut the valve cover off. Doesn't matter how much I tighten the tensioner, it still flops up a little bit when you're driving. So that's the main issue. It's gonna rip eventually, but you know, so far so good. For 3-4 months straight, I've been driving the car. It didn't give me any problem, and there's no leak whatsoever. Coming on this side, the first thing you notice is the clutch slave right here. It's completely rusted out, as you can see. Within a few months, a few weeks, it just turned like really brown. But other than that, everything looks great. The engine bay still looks great. The paint looks great. The radiator is great, and all the seals seem to work for now. Yeah, everything's great. So now we gotta address the rust issue. If you look at the rocker, it's completely destroyed. So I have a new rocker panel. We're gonna cut this apart and weld a new patch panel on here. Also the door itself, it's pretty rusted on the bottom. So thanks to MPH guys, they got a door for me, and we're going to swap the two doors out. And if you look on this side of the body, This body is dented up pretty good to the point where you can see inside the door a little bit. So this will be cut out as well, and rust repair will be repaired with the patch panel. And we're going to paint the whole car. And this fender is also destroyed. If you look, there's like a 1/4 inch thick bondo right here. So I have new fenders as well, used fender that I'm going to fix to replace the fender as well. So the door, the fenders, and the quarter panel will all be replaced, and the whole car will be painted. I might not go crazy and take the windshield out and all that stuff like my other car, but we're just gonna do another budget build plus paint job, and hopefully it will get done before Miata the Gap. So I got roughly a month and a half to kind of finish everything. And as you can see right here, this is the patch panel, one for each side of the quarter panel, as well as a new roll bar, new used roll bar. This is the hard dog, double diagonal. Got this from Alex Todd at Miata the Gap last year. Didn't install it on any car yet, so we're gonna put this on that car. Again, hopefully I get this done before Miata the Gap, and I'll see you guys at Miata the Gap. So it's a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna get started soon. So stay tuned for that. If you wanna see a budget build, this is the car that I'm gonna test everything on. So far, the cost of the parts for the engine is about $275. The radio is $40. The dash cam is $20. The door, we got it from MPH for about $100 for both of them. This patch panel is about $250. Roll bar from Alex Todd, I can't remember how much I bought this for, but I'm thinking somewhere around the $400, $500, $600 range. And then Mick Tuning sent me the headlights, so these are a great upgrade for better lighting output. Recommend this 100%. If you just want to see the road better, get that. It's turn signal, I think it was like $65, 20 or $30 for the side marker. The wheels are free from Chris, thank you Chris. Then the shock, the KYB shocks and lowering spring. The lower spring was $100, KYB shocks is something I had laying around. And coming on this side, we have some OEM replica front lips for the bumper, as well as a trunk spoiler by KG Work. These are replicas. eBay special. I think the front lip is about $100, and the trunk spoiler is about $80, if I remember correctly. We are also going to replace the soft top on this, even though there's still a good soft top. And it looks like it's been replaced before I had the car. But the problem with this soft top is that it's not installed correctly. Since it is a budget build, we're gonna keep it budget by buying the cheapest soft top I can find online, which is about $80 to $90. I used it in the past. It's actually in my lifted Miata. As you can see right here, this is the eBay special soft top. And it's been like a good 3 years and it still looked good. And I install it really well. It lines up perfectly. And look at it, it's very durable, very good for about $80. Do recommend this if you're on a budget and you just want a soft top, get the eBay special. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how much I adjust the adjustment right here, the tensioner. The belt up here will flap like crazy, causing it to rub against this notch right here on the valve cover. And this, if you look at the belt, it's grinding that much that it's ripping the belt apart. So yeah, I don't recommend the cheapest timing belt. That's the only thing that failed, but other than that, the seal and everything else is working good. So take that as you will. And here's a look at the timing belt off the car. You can see the side of the belt is shear out a little bit. So here's the two belt compared side to side. This is the cheaper Chinese one, and this is the gate timing belt. They look exactly the same. The thickness is about the same. The only difference is the way it feels. So the Chinese one, the cheap one, feels really flexible and like, yeah, not that good. It just doesn't feel like solid. And the Gates timing belt, it feels a little bit more solid, more durable. and that's the main difference. So this timing belt will flop around the engine a lot more compared to this, and mainly because it's more durable. So that's the main difference between the two. Okay, so now the Gates timing belt is back in, and it's idling a lot smoother because the belt is not rattling on the engine. Before it was just rattling like crazy. It was really loud and obnoxious, and it's making a lot of like debris all over the place because the timing belt was rubbing on the valve cover. But for now, it's not rubbing anymore, mainly because it's a Gate timing belt. It's a lot more better. So do I recommend putting the cheap timing belt? Probably not, but if you're on a pinch, then yes. But you just got to be careful that it won't last as long as you think. So to sum up this budget build so far, this full timing kit works great other than the belt. If you're going to buy this timing kit, make sure you put a aftermarket or a well-known timing belt. Cheap Chinese timing belt just doesn't last as long and will fail on you. Thankfully, I caught this in time. I knew it wasn't going to last long, but I just want to test it out and see how long it will last. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked the video and follow for more. We're gonna build this whole car before Miata the Gap. That is the goal, and we're gonna paint it as well. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
ハイパースピードメディア